You know, little fellows are always at a disadvantage. I can hardly see over the platform. Are these mics on?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Elder. And my fellow laborers, I want to just say good evening to you all. I know that the time is late. We've been here a long time and you've gotten weary. So I'm going to be very brief. Usually when I do a seminar, the people already know what the topic is. And they have come because of that topic. What I try to do is choose topics that people are in general interested in. For example, one of the things that's sweeping across our country right now that is affecting almost every family is diabetes. You can't hardly find a person, a mature person, that have not had either somebody that they know or somebody in their family that have had diabetes. I always refer back to the 8 laws of health. What I've discovered is that there's really nothing that you can get into health-wise without touching on the 8 laws of health. And the other item that I do, I make sure that people understand that the seminar is important enough for them to invest in it. So I tell them in advance, usually I'll do this even in First Day churches. I'm going to be in a Sabbath-keeping church. It's not a Seventh-day Adventist church on the 19th of this month. And I sold the pastor on the program. And he invited me to come to his church to make a presentation. So usually what I do is preach at the church. And at the end of the sermon, I tell the people that what I want them to do is, and this is even in Adventist churches, I tell them that this is going to be a program where you have to have a textbook to enjoy or appreciate the seminar. I said, you can't come to the seminar without having a textbook. And this is my favorite textbook. And I tell them, I said, now, what we want you to do when you come into the seminar, you're going to pick up your textbook, and I got good news for you. Your textbook is going to be yours to keep, and all you have to do is make a donation. Make a what? Donation. Make a donation of $3 to $5. Hello? Now, when you look at the back of this book, you can see what the price is, right? What is that price? $20. They're going to see that, and I tell them, and when you're going to get a $20 book, it's really a gift to you. Your donation is going to help us to keep the program going. Hello? Keep the program going. Because the important thing is that you want them to have something in their hand when they leave. So I refer to this book, several things in it, but today I'm going to show you how I use this book in selling any other kind of book. So today I want to talk to you about supersized kids. So my advertisement before the seminar is dealing with obesity among children. They came to hear that. But they made a donation already for this book when they came in the meeting place. That's just to cover our costs so that we don't go in the hole. Now, when I open up with them and I'm dealing with supersized kids, I say to them, thank you for coming. You are here because you are interested in the health and welfare of our children. And it is important to me to know that you are interested enough and you care enough about your own children and the children of our community to understand that we have a major problem in our society today. Obesity is not only a problem for adults, but it has become a problem for our children. When historically, it has been a problem of adults beyond a certain age. But something has happened in our society so that today, even our children are suffering from obesity. Now, you know that everybody is concerned about their children. Amen.
Amen.
So you're touching on something that they already are concerned with, and it is the problem has reached epidemic proportions. So I'm on target. I got an audience because people are going to come and deal with that. And many of them are coming not only for their children, they're coming for themselves. Amen. And so I enter the subject by simply, I keep my book in hand, and I have several books on the table. And I tell them that this wonderful book that is written by one of my favorite doctors, Dr. Walt Larimore, associated with one of the largest hospital systems in the state of Florida, the Florida hospitals. Now, what I'm doing is establishing the credibility of my material. I'm not a doctor, but I'm simply telling them what the doctor said.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
So what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, it's important that you put value on the material, and the person that wrote the material is credible. So that's my approach. Then I tell them that this particular physician, who is very a prominent individual in our community, has expressed his concern for this problem that has reached academic proportions. And let me tell you what he said. As a physician, I have been troubled by the rising tide of obesity in this country. And as a policymaker, I am concerned about the burden obesity places on our national healthcare system. This timely book addresses the problem of its roots and help parents develop a healthy, active lifestyle for the entire family. I commend the author and strongly recommend this practice an important book to parents. And so I make a quote. Then there was another quote in here from Huckabee. Let's see if I can put my hands on it very quickly. Former governor of Arkansas, and he addresses the value and the importance of the book as it relates to the young people of his state, and he highly recommends the book. So I make reference to these things, and then after that, I get into what involves other books. And I point out the fact that obesity is considered by some people as just a problem of overeating. But those of us who are familiar with the problem, we understand something very important, that there are many causes of obesity. Then I go and I start referring to some of these causes. Somebody move the book that we have here. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Because I got several different books, and I'm not just, even though I'm presenting one book, but I'm opening an interest in several books. Are you with me?
Yes.
So I talk about the fact that one of the causes of obesity is stress. Now on our screen, let's go to the screen. There he is. Why is Johnny so obese? Is it just because he ate all of that food? Or are there other things that has put him to where he is right now? One of the reasons that people become obese is because of other things in their lives. And among them is stress. Stress is a powerful force in our society, and people have to learn how to deal with stress. So I go into a discussion about stress in general and how it affects children through their parents, etc., etc., etc. Now, we don't have time to just do all the details, but I'm just trying to give you a basis of where I'm coming from. Now, as they look at what's going on with this young man, I point out the fact that it is not only about diet, and I'm going now to my cookbooks. Now, my preference in this kind of presentation is not 7 secrets, but optimal diet. Because optimal diet deals with the lifestyle diseases, and it has recipes that help with obesity. It deals with high blood pressure and cholesterol, and it deals with heart conditions and these various lifestyle diseases. So I make reference to all of those things, and what am I doing? I am pointing out that, and I point out that one of the problems that people have with kids that are obese is that, what do I feed my child? How do I deal with this problem? And I tell them that the important thing to know is that you don't have to have all the answers, be able to prepare all the recipes yourself. There are many books on the market, hello,
Yes.
that have recipes already put together, so that all you have to do is go down and purchase the material, the food, and follow the recipe that's in the book. I'm picking up books and I'm putting them down. But my main book that they came to hear about is Supersized Kids. But they're not just getting Supersized Kids, because when I get finished, they are going to not only want the book on Supersized Kids, they're going to want all of the books. And then I'm going to say to them, Elder, I only have 8 minutes to say what it says. I tried to cut this thing short, but this is, and then, we talk a little bit about the 8 laws of health and how all of these laws affect our health and well-being. And then finally, I'll talk to them about the final one. All right, okay. But now, my reference to the 8 laws is already in. They just hit it quiet. So I'm telling them up front, you're going to have in your hand the foundation for how to deal with all of these issues. And then I come back and tell them in the end that one of the things about the society that we live in, you can eat right, you can do everything that you know to have a healthy, happy, successful family. But because of the fact that we live in a sinful world, and because of the fact that we are under attack by the enemy, we cannot be completely successful without faith in a divine being. Now, see, if I was in the Adventist church, I would just say faith in God. But I'm going to be spiritually correct. Faith in a divine being when I'm outside of the Adventist circle. And I point out the fact that we're told that we are either in a storm, about to go in a storm, or just coming out of a storm. That's life. So stress and difficulty is unavoidable, but you can find peace in the middle of the storm by following the divine plan. And I just put that down because what I'm trying to do is just touch and whet an appetite. Now I get kind of strong with them, and I got just a few minutes left. I get kind of strong with them about the book, and I tell them, I said, now, when it comes to obesity in children, it is one of the highest forms of child abuse.
Mercy, mercy.
I make it personal.
Yeah.
Because we are responsible for the success or failure of our children. And the foundation that's laid in the very beginning of their lives, the habits that they form, it's our responsibility to help them in forming those habits and establishing their lifestyle. So the burden is really upon the parents. And I'm calling them to responsibility. And then I tell them the good news is you can be successful. You can do your job. You don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to be a professor. All you have to do is understand the basics in training and developing your child's life. And fathers and mothers need to understand that spending time with their children, pulling them away from, now here are some of the things that create obesity. The television, various kinds of video games where they are not active in terms of exercising the entire body. So I go down that whole list and point out the fact that it's more than just what they eat. It's what they do every day. And when we finish with all of referring to all of those items, we have now made them, created an interest, because the parents understand that they're stressed out. Some of them put the child in front of the TV to get them out of their hair. So mom and daddy now understand, you know what? I need that book on stress.
Say that, say that.
So they're interested in that. And mama, she's probably working too, and she doesn't know what to cook. She just goes and grabs something and try to get it ready to just get the family off of her back. Wow. And so now she said, wow, I don't have to wonder what I'm going to cook anymore. I just go to the book. So she's excited about that. And everybody in the family understands that we are powerless without divine power. Amen. And they begin to zero in, you know what, as a family, of course we talk about the fact that families need to get together in order to overcome these things. And so when they finish hearing the fact that now we're going to get out on our own, we're going to shut the television off, we're going to go out and do things together as a family. What I've done is I've brought something. Originally they thought they were coming to find out what to do about my supersized kid. But now they've solved all of the problems in the family. And they want to take the books on the table right now. And I haven't tried to sell anything. I've just talked about the problem. God is a problem-solving God. He knows where people hurt. Somebody talked about scratching where we itch. God's a problem-solving God. And as Christians and people working in the cause of God, we have to be problem-solving people. I never sell a book. I sell a solution to a problem. And I want to say to our college students that are out selling books, one of the things that I hate is when we go and beg for somebody to help us. You don't have to do that. You sell them something that they need. And you only need 5 minutes to paint the picture. When you leave them, they need to know that you left something with them that they need. And they thank you because your mission is not, I'm a student trying to make it, hey, how about, just please take one. Yeah, or just make a donation. I'm needing donations. What I need is to solve your problem. And that is the mission of the church. That is what the publishing ministry is really all about. We are out there to help somebody We don't need anybody's help. We've got our helper already. And elder, according to the clock, I got 57 minutes and I'm done. 57 seconds.
Let's show some love. Beautiful presentation. Thank you so much, Elder. It doesn't take that long, does it? That was beautiful. Health seminar.